y'all, my name is Jordan. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be comparing the iPad Air 4 to the Samsung S-Tab S10 the Ultra S10 tab. That's what this is. So we're going to be comparing these two tablets today as students, as tech connoisseur people, things, whatever. We're going to be comparing these two things. So I have the specs and all that thing pulled up here on my phone, and we're going to get right into the review. So a little backstory on my iPad. I first got my iPad back when I was in my freshman or sophomore year of college, I believe. And when you're broke, you get something called a refund check. So with that refund check, I was able to buy myself an iPad off of Amazon. And at the time, it was $300 or $400. I'll put up on the screen how much it is now because I have no idea what the price is now. But this was released back in 2020. So this is about 5 years old. And, well, it doesn't come with it. That's something you have to purchase separately. It doesn't come with it. But this is the second generation Apple Pencil. It doesn't plug in to charge. It just charges when you attach it to the side of the iPad. And then the case that I have on my iPad is the Logitech keyboard case. I'll put that up on the screen too because I don't know the price of that, but I'll put it up on the screen, and then I just covered it with stickers. But it's a keyboard case. But as for my let me figure out how to say it the right way. Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Ultra. For this one, you can purchase a keyboard case separately for it, but I was looking at the reviews of the keyboard case and people were like, do not get that keyboard case. So I'm like, actually, I won't. So I went on Burga, is a iPhone, cell phone, tablet case website where you can go and get cases, and it's like a folio case. And it has a little tab to hold the S Pen. With the S10 Ultra, it comes with the S Pen. So the S Pen is included, and then I went on Amazon and got a cute little S Pen cover. It's like a little pencil. So that's really cute. And when you're taking notes, it looks like you're using a cute little pencil. All right. So let's get into the specs, because there has been this whole big debate of Apple versus Samsung, Galaxy and Android versus iOS ecosystems and all that jazz. And with the Z Flip coming out, the Z Fold, and the new iPhone 17 Pro, people are going crazy. What phone to get, what tablet to get, whatever. And I was contemplating, did I want to upgrade my iPad to the iPad M4 Pro and then get the Magic Keyboard and then buy the Apple Pencil Pro? But y'all, that is almost $2,000, if not $2,000. And I'm like, there's no way I'm doing that. When Samsung offers a freaking 14-inch tablet that has the little S Pen comes with it. So I'm like, obviously, the choice is clear. Anyways, let's get into the specs. All right, y'all. So like I said, the iPad Air 4 was released back in 2020. It still is up to date with updates and stuff. I can still update it to iOS 26. But when I updated it to iOS 26 beta, I didn't like it. So I'm hesitant on upgrading it to the real iOS 26. But anyway, so the Galaxy Tab was released in 2024. This one was, the iPad Air was released in 2020. So the dimensions are, okay, honestly, the S-Tab is bigger. This is 11 inches, this is 14. Look at the difference. These little inches by width, by whatever, y'all don't even know all that. The weight of these, 718 grams versus 458 grams. Now on the S-Tabs, you can't get cellular on these. I didn't want cellular on it anyways, but if you wanted an iPad, you can get cellular on the iPad. Let me see. It's saying you can put an eSIM in here though. I don't know. The screen on the Galaxy S10 Ultra is a dynamic AMOLED 2X whatever. It's 120 Hz refresh rate. This one is a liquid retina IPS LCD screen with 10.9 inches. So this one is actually 10.9 inches. And this one is 14.6 inches. So that's the official size comparison between the two. This one is iPad OS 14.1, but it's upgradable to iPad OS 26. And this one has Android 14, One UI 6.1. I don't know what any of this means. I'm just reading a little in-depth specs because I'm just a girl. If you like, I can't. This one has a 12 milli. The camera's better on this one. fingerprint. Let me put that down. Let me get my raw, honest, and real comparison, because I'm just looking at data and trying to read it and regurgitate it back, and it's not making any sense to me. So I wanted a bigger, brighter screen. I wanted it faster. I needed more storage. This only came with 64 gigabytes of storage. That's why I'm like, this moves kind of slow, and I want to be able to have an iPad or a tablet or something that can handle what I needed to handle. So I'm researching, is it even worth it for me to get the iPad Pro if I already had a version of the iPad? But I've never owned a Samsung or Android product, and everybody has been raving it's really good. So I'm like, I'm gonna try it out. So I got the S-Tab, and honestly, I have no complaints. So on the iPad, you have the little fingerprint that's up here at the top, the little fingerprint sensor to open it. My light died. No, hold on, we're back. I gotta hurry before the other light dies. Anyways, so the iPad has a fingerprint sensor on the power button. This one is a in-screen fingerprint. Oh, sorry, I was watching the show. This is an in-screen fingerprint sensor, so you can use it landscape or you can use it hot dog style, horizontal. Why did I say hot dog style? I don't know, but like I said, I'm a college student, so I'm in grad school right now. And a lot of the times we use Canvas, not a lot of the times, every single time. We use Canvas every single time. And then I like to have Google Docs pulled up on the side to type up my assignments and then see what the rubric is. And then if I want to Google something, I can also pull it up. And there's a lot of real estate here for me to look and take notes and do all that jazz. And since I did not get a keyboard case for my S-Tab, I went ahead and got a Logitech keyboard and mouse. These, why can I not talk? This is the Pebble Keys keyboard and this is the Pebble mouse, and they connect seamlessly. They are smaller, or it is smaller than the Tab, so you just pop it in your bag and go. So I'm not really feeling like I'm missing out on the keyboard case and all that. I feel like I can do in-depth review on the S-Tab on its own and make its own little video and give it its own little moment, because this really was a comparison video. If you want to know, should you go for the Samsung quality tablet or the iPad, OS, Apple, whatever, coming from a college student standpoint, if you can afford it, if you have a refund check and you're able to like splurge a little bit, I would go for their higher end, nicer model, something like this. I would recommend this, but this still works. I still use this because it's part of my Apple ecosystem. I didn't just give up the whole ecosystem. You know what I mean? This is still my pride and my joy. And even though my Apple Pencil is cracking, I've had this thing for 5 years. So it's like, this is my pride and joy. I'm always going to be an Apple girly. Yes, I'm a part of the Apple cult, but I see why my other light died, guys. No. Let me plug this one up too. Where's my charger? Anyways, let me focus, slow my roll, and lock in. So honestly, coming from a student standpoint, I recommend the bigger tablet because honestly, it's like having a freaking computer that's touchscreen in your hands. And then obviously you can customize. Samsung's really nice, and you don't have to have those little weird buttons at the bottom. You can make it swipe gestures if you're used to Apple and stuff like that. But if y'all want me to go in depth about how I take notes on here and all that jazz, I can make another video about my S-Tab because this is honestly my pride and joy. But that's the comparison. The old versus the new. Personally, I recommend, if you don't have an iPad, I recommend an iPad because there's nothing wrong with base model iPads and the 60 hertz and all that jazz. And it's tiny and it's cute and it's portable. I don't know, both are great. But if I had to pick one, I'd probably go with this one. I would. The S-Tab, I would have to. Because honestly, owning this is making me want to transfer over completely to a Samsung ecosystem. I'm like, no, I fully see the vision. I do. I see why everybody was freaking out about the Z Flip, the Z Fold, and all that. I'm like, yes, I do understand, actually. I get it. But y'all, this is my attempt at a tech review. I don't know. I just was like, let me just share my limited expertise on my two babies. But if you're broke like me and you get refund checks for college, go ahead and get you something that you can use for school and has a lot more storage, because the base storage on this one is 256 gigabytes. This one is only 64, like I said. And this just moves a lot faster. And anything that I'm lacking on here, I can just get on here. Because I did not know, one of the things I did not know, I can play Genshin on my S tab. I didn't know they didn't have Fortnite on the Google Play Store or the Galaxy Store, y'all. So I can play Fortnite on my iPad, but I can't play it on this. That's it, y'all. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys later. Thank you so much.